Message from Sunnahfollowers. This is from Sheikh Saleh. We need to unite. Sisters, wear your hijab. Wear your beards. Be proud of your beards. Stay home, stay in your home. Stand up, unite, and stand for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
That's right, Saleh. We all should stand up in solidarity, not transgressing the limits of Allah, but standing together with patience and understanding. This is Sunnahfollowers.
With dignity, humility, and balance.
If you want to learn about how to balance and maintain your faith every day, you need to be here at 6:30 p.m. Eastern, being taught by Laila Nasheeba, streaming on all major platforms. Channel Sunnahfollowers. Hope to see you there, inshallah.
Assalamu alaikum. This is Yusuf and this is Ayub. And if you are benefiting like we are from the classes and the ongoing programming, tuning into the Sunnahfollowers, please donate. Let this be an ongoing sadaqah jariyah on your behalf. You're helping the kids, the converts, and everyone seeking knowledge. And it's a wealth of information every day you tune in. Don't forget, you are being rewarded for your generous donations to keep this programming on air. You know, just like what you're hearing, put your dollar where the dollar's at. Right here on Sunnahfollowers. Don't forget, donate. Right here to Sunnahfollowers and dollars Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. Listen, we are in dire need of donations to keep these shows running and available for you 24/7. So that means when you're in the car, it's available for you to listen to. Whether you're at work, streaming, playing a game, it's available for you to listen to. Rowing your deen and learning about the beautiful, beautiful, beautiful different topics of Islam. Listen, one of the heaviest deeds that could be placed on your scale on the Day of Judgment is sadaqah jariyah. Yes, I know, I'm trying to build deeds daily. So you can too. So listen, feel free and please, from the bottom of your heart, donate to this wonderful cause, wonderful website and platform to continually push out shows that will benefit you and the Muslim Ummah. Yes, you can donate by going to the Sunnahfollowers.net website, pressing the donate tab. You can also scan the QR code in YouTube on the far left top of our videos that are streaming. Listen, guys, this is very important, and take this as important. We want to keep this programming available for you 24/7 so that you have access in your car, anywhere you choose to tune in to this wonderful programming. Yes, guys, it's all at your disposal. So listen, feel free to donate. Once again, remember, sadaqah jariyah, one of the heaviest deeds on your scale on the Day of Judgment.
Can you tell me about the soul? When death comes, what will follow? What will be revealed when you go? Is a question that we all must know. Do you know about the soul?
Assalamu alaikum, a brand new upcoming class on the book by Sheikh Karim Abuzaid, The Souls of the Dead, being taught by Ustad Laila Nasheeba. Yes, right here, every Saturday and Sunday, 9:30 p.m. Eastern. You are not going to want to miss this. Join us. Streaming on all major platforms. Channel Sunnahfollowers.
Every believer must know.
Ina alhamdulillah, wa salat, wa salam ala wa rasulullah. I'd like to welcome everybody to our new series entitled The Souls of the Dead. And this is based on the book written by Dr. Karim Abuzaid. It's one of the newest books of his, one of the newest books that he's put out recently. And again, for those of you who have not yet purchased this book, please go to Amazon.com and buy this book. It's only $19.95. And I highly encourage you to purchase it, because there's so many of us Muslims who have questions about what happens to the dead, what happens when you die. And of course, when it comes to matters of the unseen, we have to stick to what Allah has clearly said about such issues and what our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam has said about such issues. We cannot add to it, nor can we take away from it. And there's a lot of people out there who make up things about what happens to the dead. I'm sure many of you have heard so many fairy tales like, oh, when a person dies, the soul walks the earth for 4 days saying goodbye to the dead. This is not true. Once a person dies, they don't come back to this world. And they don't walk the earth for 4 days to give salams or say goodbye to people. None of that is part of Islam. None of that is true. And whenever people say things like that, they have to bring the clear evidence and the clear nas, which is the words of Allah. You know, there is nothing in the Quran that says that. There's nothing from the authentic hadiths that says that this is all mysticism. You know, this is all crap. Okay, and we have to be careful of that. And we have to be careful of sharing crap like that with people that we can't prove. Because again, when it comes to the unseen, you know, Allah is going to hold us accountable for what we say out of our mouths that we cannot bring the evidence for. So when the people die, they do not walk around on the earth for 4 days. You know, when you die, your soul is put in a sack. Okay, as we talked about in chapters 1 and 2 of this book. This is based on the hadith of Ibn Adib. This is from Sahih Bukhari and Muslim. Your soul is taken up. If it's a good soul, you know, it's fragranted with the smell of musk from paradise. And the angels speak about how pleasant the fragrance is. And your soul is taken up. And the people of paradise, the souls of paradise that are there, they gather around and they recognize you, the people that are there who remembered you from this world, and they gather around you and they ask about how's this person, how's that person, and they greet you and welcome you and all of that. And then your soul is brought back down to earth and it's put back in your body, in your grave, if you died in good standing with Allah. Good standing mean that you were Muslim who died having fulfilled your obligations. You were a good practicing Muslim. You did your prayers, you fulfilled your obligations, you wore hijab, you weren't getting dry, you didn't die an alcoholic, you didn't die upon sins. But on the other hand, if you died a bad Muslim, a sinful Muslim, your soul is put in that stinky burlap sack and is taken up, and your name is written down in that book of Sijin, which we talked about. You don't get to see the people who passed before you. You're not greeted by anyone. It's taken up and your name is written in the book of Sijin, and it's thrown, your soul is dropped back into your body in that grave, and then you have to deal with what happens there, and you'll be in the hellfire being punished for whatever sins you died upon in this world. The fornication. That's why I tell you, sisters, over and over, you cannot take this religion lightly. You cannot sit here and say, oh, this just a minor sin. No, any sin that you deliberately any action of disobedience that you deliberately do is major. A minor sins are the mistakes that we do. These are the actions of disobedience that we commit, and we didn't know that they were actions of disobedience. That's a minor sin. Major sins is when you deliberately, you know something's haram, but you do it anyway. You know that you're not supposed to be talking to men on the internet, for example. You know that you're not supposed to be alone on the telephone talking to some dude, but you're doing it. Where's your third party at? Where's your witness that you're not talking to this dude? That's haram. That's zina. That's a major sin. Oh yes, you'll be dropped back down. Oh yeah, you'll be in that cauldron in the hellfire for fornication. That's zina. That's a major sin. That ain't nothing minor. I want you sisters to understand there's different types of zina. You ain't got to penetrate a person's body. Oh, zina of the hands, the tongue, the eyes. Oh yeah, so many of us is going to be in the hellfire for zina. That's what that 50% is talking about. The prophet was talking about that the two main reasons why most people will be punished in their graves is because of two sins. Failure to control their tongue, the gossip, backbiting, slander. Failure to control their desires, their private parts, that zina. Marriage takes care of one. At least it used to. Marriage don't even take care of it, because most of the brothers y'all talking to are married, but is that helping them? Is marriage taking care of it for them? No. Most of the brothers y'all talking to got 2 and 3 and 4 wives, but they still talking to you. Does marriage take care of it for them? No. So that hadith ain't even working for them. That's what that hadith is talking about. That hadith does not mean that just because you got married, Allah gave you 50% of the knowledge of Islam. Nope. Knowledge doesn't fall into your brain because you got married. No, that's not what that means. And the Arabic people make fun of you sisters for believing that in America. Where y'all get that numbskull thinking from? Who told you that? The brothers y'all talking to told y'all that? While they sitting there with 3 wives. And they sitting there, it didn't help them, did it? They still doing zina with you on the phone. Oh, we got to get it together, sisters. Oh. Yeah, the sisters here are like, do they really believe that? Yes, they do. They think that hadith means that because they got married, Allah gave them 50% of the knowledge of Islam. That's what they believe it means. The brothers told them that. And they got 3, 4 wives. Welcome to America. I got my sisters in Afghanistan and Uzbekistan and Malaysia. They laughing. They said, really? Yeah, really. By the way, I got that recipe. I got a new recipe from Uzbekistan. Lamb and potatoes. I'm going to try it. Lamb and potatoes. I'm going to try that recipe tomorrow, inshallah. Okay. I'm cooking Uzbekistan recipes. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm not kidding. Amina, I'm not telling the truth, Amina. Ain't that what they think that hadith mean? They laughing. They say they really think that's what it means. Yeah. Tell Amina. Oh. Yeah. Welcome to America. You better stay in Uzbekistan. Okay. Well, tonight, alhamdulillah. And by the way, I'm talking to make for the sisters, and I'm waiting on my sisters in Australia and South Africa. They are logging in on Rumble. Amira. I don't have my phone for Rumble. let me type. Well, let me see. Hold on. Because this is the important class on the soul. Hold on, guys. Let me see. Let me join Rumble right quick. Hold on. I'm using the other phone. Hold on. Let me make sure I got it. Okay. Oh, okay. I see it. I see it. I'm in. I'm in, Mira. Okay. I'm in. Okay. 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 All right. Alhamdulillah. Okay. I'm logged in. Okay. I can see it. What about Japan? LinkedIn? I mean, Twitter. Twitter. Hold on. Let me type X. For Japan, sisters. I don't want nobody to miss the class. There. XX. Okay. I got you. Okay. X. They're logged in too. Japan is in the house. The Zoom room for Mira is here. Okay, all right, we can get started. Okay, guys, so mashallah, and I don't want to keep the people in America too long because I know we're different time zones. Okay, tonight, alhamdulillah, we're going to continue with the book, The Souls of the Dead. For those of you who have not purchased it, go to Amazon, and we're going to be covering chapter 3. Let me just give us a brief update since I got all the Zoom rooms connected. I mean, live logged in now. There, I see her now in there. MashaAllah. Shout out. Oh, you want to take a screenshot right quick? Okay, hold on. She wants a screenshot so she can put it for her ad for Australia. Okay, okay. I don't smile. Okay. Okay, she got it. Okay, all right. So last time we met for this class, which was last weekend, we covered chapter 2. Chapter 2, we answered the question, do the dead remember their lives in this world? Yes, they do. And we gave the evidence that when they are taken up, the believers, when the believer's soul is taken up, they are greeted by the souls that preceded them, and they run to you. They remember you. They welcome you. They're so happy to see you, and they question you about yourself. They congratulate you. The fact that you have arrived there, that lets them know that you had a good ending. That's why I tell you guys, be careful how you live your life. You had a good ending. Then they ask you about their relatives. How's my son, my daughter, my kids? If they find out that someone died and the person's not there, they know that that person didn't make it. That means that person's in the hellfire, being punished in hell. Now, does that mean that that person will be in hell forever? No, not necessarily. Because remember, if we die upon sins, Allah can punish us in the hellfire until the day of judgment. But on the day of judgment, Allah may decide that that's enough. You served your time. As long as you believed in Allah and you never associated partners with Him, Allah will forgive you of any other sin. Remember that, guys? So there's always that hope. As long as you did not die upon the sin of disbelief, Allah may forgive you of any other sin. So on the day of judgment, He may take you out of hell and say, you've served your time. I forgive you now. Now you can join your family and your relatives and friends in paradise. Okay? But will you be the green bird flying around in paradise until the day of judgment? No, you do your time in hell because you died on alcohol or not wearing hijab, not doing your prayers, or on the internet talking to men. That's a form of zina. That's why you got to take this religion seriously, sisters. You didn't wear hijab in this world. You didn't dress properly. That's why we got to follow the rules of this religion, new shahadas. Okay. But and also we spoke about how you may have had a good ending, but maybe you were one of those Muslims who fulfilled all your obligations. You was a good practicing Muslim, but you died owing debts. Remember, we talked about that last week. That's why the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said we got to have those debts paid off. Because if your debts are not paid off, your soul is suspended. You won't be able to join them. Your soul is between the two worlds. So that can prevent you from joining, being in the belly of the green bird, flying around the throne of Allah. That's why we have to have that burial, have our debts paid off. Make sure that's in your will. Make sure you put in your will before any of your inheritors take their inheritance that they make sure your debts are paid off. Now do y'all see why that's important? You won't be in hell, but you won't be in that green bird either. You'll be in limbo, and that's not a good thing. So now we're going to go on to the third chapter. And let's put the PowerPoint up on the screen. Everybody pay attention. And for those of you who are on this Vigo program, make sure that you open up a tab. My sisters in Afghanistan and Uzbekistan and Malaysia and Singapore and Kuwait, make sure you guys open up a tab on YouTube and go to my channel, Sunnahfollowers, so you can see this PowerPoint that I am putting up on the screen right now. And chapter 3 speaks about when the deeds are carried to the dead. When the deeds are carried to the dead, which is what we spoke about last week. But this is going to do some more emphasizing on that. And this is how the book looks for the new shahadas that have joined me from the Sister Amira and Sister Amatula's Zoom room. And make sure that when you go to Amazon to purchase the book, you type Dr. Karim's full name. Type Dr. Karim Abuzaid. That way the book will pop up. Because we found that you got to put the whole name, doctor, in order for it to pop up. Okay, so let's get started. And we start off with this hadith here that Dr. Karim gives of the hadith of Abu Darda. May Allah be pleased with him. You know, when Abu Darda, who was one of the original companions, when he learned, because remember we talked about how when a Muslim dies in good standing and their soul is taken up, that's how the people who died before us learn about what's happening here. They don't come down to earth, but they learn about what's going on with you and me by what the souls that come up there tell them. And also they get to see the deeds, as we talked about. You know, when you're presented with your deeds up there, they see, and that's when they'll say, oh, I hope he can come back up here and join us. When Abu Darda, may Allah be pleased with him, learned that the deceased can see the deeds of the living, he took this to heart, not only in theory, but in affection, because he really, really was close to another companion, Abdullah ibn Ruwayha. And Mukhtar, my cousin, did the story of Ibn Ruwayha, radiyallahu anha. Before Islam, Abu Darda and Abdullah ibn Ruwayha were bound in brotherhood, and they loved each other for the sake of Allah. Abdullah had converted to Islam first, but Abu Darda remained outside of Islam for a while. And despite their spiritual separation, they still had a great admiration for each other. One day, Abu Darda came home after working in the marketplace, and he found that Ibn Ruwayha and Muhammad ibn Maslama had destroyed his idol. And he said, "What? Woe unto me." He looked at the idols and said, "Should you not have defended yourself? Why didn't you defend yourself?" And that's when his mother intervened and said, "If it could have, it would have." And she reminded him that idols cannot save or harm anything, that only Allah has that power. She reminded him of something that we Muslims today in 2025 seem to have forgotten. And that is that there is no power and there is no might other than Allah. And when she reminded him of that, it pierced his heart. And that very day, Abu Darda purified himself. He put on his best clothing and he went to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam to pay him a visit because it made sense to him. And when Abdullah saw him, he said, "Oh, this is Abu Darda. He's come to join us." And the Prophet already knew. He said, "I know." He said, "He has come to embrace Islam." He said, "Because Allah has promised me that Abu Darda would embrace Islam." Okay, and subhanallah, that moment spoke volumes. That moment spoke a lot of volumes. And Abu Darda was shocked because he knew then that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam had to be a prophet of Allah, because how else would he have known that he had come to convert to this new way of life? Okay. In fact, he never ceased to remember that. And he never ceased to speak of that, or to speak of that moment of his encounter with when his heart was touched by Allah and his encounters with Abdullah. He once said, "I seek refuge in Allah from a day in which I would never, ever remember Abdullah ibn Ruwayha." In other words, he said, "I hope that I would never, ever not remember him." He loved this brother so much. You know, he loved him before Islam, and he loved him even more after Islam. Okay, and he spoke about him all the time. Okay, so we learn here that the spiritual ties, our spiritual ties, are even greater than our blood ties. And after converting to Islam, Abu Darda would always speak good of Abdullah and his devotion, not only to Islam, but also how he would fast all the time, pray all the time, okay? And he would always speak well of Abdullah. And the story of Abu Darda and Abdullah's relationship is a great sign of what true brotherhood entails. It shows how faith, belief in Allah, transforms love, and how faith makes relationships, grow even beyond death, and how remembrance of the deceased can shape the righteousness of living. When Abu Darda learned, when he heard that the souls of the righteous may learn about the good things that we do even after they're gone, when he learned that when the people we know die and go up there, if they die in good standing and make it up there, that they tell the people who left before us how we're living, that they share with them what's going on here. You know, this really touched him. So what he did was he began to monitor his behavior, not for public approval, not for personal praise, but out of deep loyalty, because Abdullah ibn Rawaha died before him. His best friend, this brother who he loved so much, left this earth. A lot of you come to me and you say, Sister Laila, my father died, my mother died, my best friend died. It hurts. What can I do to honor them? Well, that's what Abu Darda said. Well, now I know what I can do to honor my brother, my best friend, who I loved more than a real brother. He began to honor to monitor his behavior. He said, I don't want to do anything that would bring shame to Ibn Ruwayha. I don't want to do anything that he would say, what? Abu Darda did that? So he began to make dua every day for Abdullah. And he checked his behavior. His dua was not about what others saw. It was about how his actions would appear in the unseen. He used to say, Oh Allah, listen to his dua. Listen to the dua that Abu Darda, may Allah be pleased with him, used to say. He used to say, Oh Allah, do not let me commit a deed that would disgrace Abdullah ibn Rawaha, radiyallahu anhu. This is the language of love in its purest form. Not love for admiration of this world, but this is love tied to taqwa. This is love that honors allegiance beyond the grave. This is love that still lives where the body no longer can. The Prophet, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when he heard of this type of love that not just this one companion had, but that many of his companions had for each other, he said, the strongest bond of faith is to love for the sake of Allah and to hate for the sake of Allah. Do we have this type of love today for each other? I want you sisters to ask yourself, is there another sister on this planet that you can say that you got this type of love for? I know y'all think y'all got it for these brothers that y'all talk to all night long, that y'all willing to go to hell for. Think about it. You sisters are willing to go to hell 100 times over to lay up on WhatsApp and FaceTime a bunch of joker men who are not your husbands with no third party present. Y'all willing to go to hell for that. But is there a Muslim sister that you love so much that you willing to make dua and ask Allah to not allow you to commit a deed that would disgrace her if she heard about it because she's passed over? Subhanallah. But you will go to hell and back for these brothers and commit zina with them on the phone while you private talk to them, when that's haram. Think about the choices we're making. Would the companions make those choices? Would Aisha, radiallahu anha, make the choice? You women are so desperate to be with a man that you choose the hellfire for him. Are these the choices that those original companions made? Y'all see why you sisters can forget about being a forerunner. I had a sister the other day say, why come I'm a forerunner? Oh, really? You sisters would choose hell over paradise. Would Aisha choose hell over paradise? You sisters have no concept of love for the sake of Allah. Not like these companions. As Muslims today, we can learn a lot from this. We learn that when we love for Allah, that love should refine us. What does that mean? Loving for the sake of Allah makes us better, not worse. Loving for the sake of Allah improves our character. Loving for the sake of Allah makes us better people, not worser people. Because the strongest bonds are not those of love, but those of faith. We grow in our iman. We don't deteriorate in it like a lot of you sisters are doing. A lot of you sisters have deteriorated in your iman, in your faith, because of the choices you've made due to your desires. It's all about a man. And then when it should have been about Allah. What's the one sister told me the other day? I've always gotten along. I get along better with men than I do women. What woman doesn't? That's the law of nature, the laws of physics. Every woman gets along better with a man. Unless you're gay. It's still haram. That's why it's haram. Who doesn't? What female doesn't get along better with men? That's why it's haram. We don't have male friends, women. Your friends have to be female. There is no such thing in Islam as a male friend. Your friends have to be female. Abu Darda's best friend was not a woman. His love was not for a woman. His brotherly love was for a brother, not for a sister. He didn't sit up on WhatsApp talking to some woman. He said if he were here, he'd be on WhatsApp talking to Ibn Ruwaha, not to Ruwaha. Okay? So Abu Darda teaches us that righteous companionship, it doesn't end with death. If you got a friend, a teacher, a parent, or a spouse who inspired you towards Allah, then let your conduct after their passing be a form of ongoing loyalty or allegiance to their memory and their supplication. So here's something that you can do. A lot of you always ask me, what can I do? Let me use myself for an example. My stepfather, may Allah forgive him of his sins and make his grave spacious. Ameen. Identify someone who loved you for the sake of Allah. Make a commitment to do one deed on a regular basis that would make that person proud of you right now in El Barzakh. I could choose my stepfather. You could choose Brother Ahmad. You can choose your father. Okay? Sister Sabrine, wherever you are, when you get over whatever you're tripping over, okay, you can choose your children. Okay? It could be your best friend. It could be your teacher, Sister Aya. It could be your mother, Sister Izdahar. Identify someone who loved you. Okay? Make a commitment that you're going to do one deed on a regular basis that would make them proud of you. And so, begin your day with the intention, let what I do today be a comfort to that person who loved me and has returned to Allah. Make that your intention, that whatever I do this day, whatever I do today, let it be a comfort to him, my stepfather. Let it be a comfort to Sister Izdahar. Let it be a comfort to Brother Bilal. Let it be a comfort to Sister Rashida. May let it be a comfort to Sister Elizabeth. Let it be a comfort to those who loved me and has returned back to Allah. Let it be a comfort to Melvin and Mike. I make that do it every day. And the people I just named, those are students from my website who's died over the years since the early 2000s. That's a dua that I make every day. Wallahi, when I get up, I always say, oh Allah, let what I do today be a comfort to Izdahar, Brother Bilal, Sister Elizabeth, Melvin, Mike, Sister Rashida. These are some of my students that I lost over the years. Okay? Because guess what? As we talked about last week, the angels tell them. The angels tell them. The angels do let them know. The angels let them know. Sister Layla may do it for you, Rashida. Rashida's one of my students. You know, terrible ending. But they take that supplication to her, wherever she's at. I hope she's up there. You know, Layla's making dua for you. Sister Elizabeth, Brother Bilal, he was Lebanese, one of my students. Sister Izdahar was my right arm, my left arm. Fresno was my right arm. Izdahar was my left. Her baby's still here. She's become my left now. Okay? I make those duas, and the angels go back and tell them, Layla down there talking about you. She making dua for y'all. Begin your day with that. Okay? This is what we can do for our deceased people besides just giving in charity for them, guys. Remember, I meant to share this hadith with you guys last week and I forgot it. Remember, I want Sister Aya, because she's the baby. Izdahar was her mother. Remember when I taught you guys of the series on paradise and hell? Remember the hadith where what's the source? Sahih Muslim. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that El Firdaus is the highest level of paradise, and it's filled by 3 different categories: the martyrs and also the parents of righteous children. The parents will be raised up and they will say, oh Allah, what have I done? Oh Allah, what have I done to be raised up to this high level? And Allah will say, you were raised up due to the supplication of your children. I meant to remind Sister Aya of that. So your mother, inshallah, can be raised up to El Firdaus, Sister Izdahar, from the righteous supplication of her children. And your mother be so proud of you, Ayah, because you come to these classes every day. You're memorizing all this knowledge. You're implementing it. Your mother will be raised up to the highest levels of El Firdaus due to the righteousness of you and your supplications. So this is what you can do, you know, for your parents also, besides giving in charity on their behalf. Okay? So Abu Adarda, his supplication shows us something that's often neglected. Our hidden sins may cause grief to those who once prayed for our elevation. So what we should do is choose a private deed to correct this, something that no one knows but Allah, and change it out of love for someone who would weep if they knew. So that's something that I want all of us to work on this week. You know, think about someone who's passed that we were close to, you know, a friend, a teacher, a relative who loved you, who you know really loved you for the sake of Allah. And just make a commitment to do a good deed regularly that would make them proud. Okay? Also, remember we talked about in this hadith how Abu Darda, radiallahu anha, he used to publicly remember Ibn Ruwaha. He used to share his poetry after he died. Okay? He used to share his worship and character. He used to tell the people what a good person he was, so that the hearts of the living would also love what the dead once lived for. So speak of your righteous predecessors. Speak about their qualities, their good deeds. Share their advice with your children. Share their advice with your students, your friends, your relatives. This is something else we need to do. You know, speak about the good things that person used to do, their good character, their good behavior. And also, a bond that continues beyond the grave is dua, supplication. Just as Abu Adarda worried about his deeds reaching Ibn Ruwaha, we too should worry whether our life brings comfort or regret to the righteous who came before us. So make dua. Say, "Oh Allah, let my deeds today bring light to the hearts of the believing souls who once loved me. Not these crazy men that you went and chasing after on the internet. First of all, they ain't righteous. If they were righteous men, they wouldn't be talking to you. They'd have went to a guardian and married you. Because we don't court. By the way, there's no courtship in Islam. Don't you women know that? We get married. We don't court. The fact that these men are sitting up on the internet and they got 2, 3, 4 wives, they losers. Y'all know that. If they were real, they'd have married you. They wouldn't have talked to you on the phone, number one. They'd have went right to your guardian. They would never have talked to you without a third person present, and you'd have been married within a month. Within a month, period, dot. These men are nobodies. There's Jezebels like you are. They're little skanky men. These are men that's going to be in the cauldron with you in the hellfire. They're not good people. Zina. These are people of zina. Come on, people. They're not like Ibn Ruwaha. They're not like Abu Darda. They're not like the Prophet. sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the Prophet would have their throats. Umar would have their throats. These men would be in jail or executed for zina. Please. They couldn't survive in a Muslim country. Make dua. Oh Allah, let my deeds today bring light to the hearts of the believing souls who once loved me and bring joy to you. Oh Allah, let our friendships be tied with faith, not fleeting feelings. That's the problem. Emotions. Let our deeds be a source of joy to those who await us in the realm beyond. Let us live as Abu Adarda lived, aware that our conduct echoes into eternity. And let those who once loved us be honored, not grieved by what we've become. Ameen. These are the supplications we should be making. Not supplications of, oh Allah, make this man fall in love with me and marry me. Oh God, women, get a break. Grow up. The deceased are not forgotten, nor do they forget. Their inquiries and responses are not just symbolic. They reflect a sincere bond and a yearning to see their companions succeed in faith. They want the best for us guys in this world. When they hear of a loved one remaining strong upon this religion, they rejoice. But if they receive news that we fail along the path, then they grieve over us. To Allah we belong, and to Him we return. So there's a lot of lessons we learn from this, guys. Number one, the connection between believing souls do not end with death. Love, allegiance, and care transcend beyond the grave. Also, we learn that the dead are not omniscient. Their knowledge of the living is limited and purposeful, revealed only by Allah. The angels tell them of our supplications of them, and the dead who precede us, those who do make it up there, let them know what's going on with us down here. So accountability is shared. Our actions in this world impact not just ourselves, but also the spiritual state and sentiments of those who preceded us in faith. The living can bring comfort or grief to the deceased through our faithfulness or our deviation, guys. So that brings us to this point here. Remember that our deeds may reach the ears of those who once loved us. Our parents, our brothers, our sisters, our friends, our teachers. So we should live in a way that brings joy to them. Make dua for them. Uphold our allegiance to them by consistently praying for them, like I do for my students who have passed over the years. And ask yourself, would my late loved ones rejoice or mourn if they could see what I was doing right now? And build relationships. Like I told you guys last week, make sure your relationships in this world are lawful and good and clean. Don't build filthy, dirty relationships that are not going to be of any benefit for you in the hereafter. Build good, healthy relationships. Like I told that sister that called me today, that sister with the soft, sweet voice that told you it's okay, take baby steps. You don't have to wear a hijab to work. That sister is taking you to hell. The one that you called mean and harsh because she told you you did have to wear the hijab. That's the one that you need to make your friend. The one that you called harsh because she told you what you didn't want to hear. She's the one that you need to build a relationship with, because she's the one that's going to give you a relationship that's rooted in sincerity and faith. Her relationship will be one who's bounded and may last beyond this life, whereas the soft, sweet one, that's just a temporary one that's going to land you with her in that cauldron in hell. So what comes next? Well, the story doesn't end with our deeds alone. The question is, can the dead hear us? Do they hear me talking right now? Do they hear what I'm saying right now? That's what we're going to talk about tomorrow. So I'm going to stop right here for today. We've answered that question inside out. The dead are not sitting here watching what we're doing. They're not coming down here. They don't know what's going on and all of that. They only hear what is shared with them from whoever comes up there that they know that can tell them. Honor them. What can you do, Mina, for your brothers? You had a brother that died a couple of years ago. He was an imam. Honor your brother, Mina. Make your brother proud. Don't disgrace him. Don't let him hear nothing bad about you. You know, he'd go crazy on you. He'd probably roundhouse kick you anyway. You tell your kids, you make your uncle proud. Your uncle don't want to hear about no drugs. He don't want to hear about no apostation. None of that crap. Don't let nobody come up there and visit him and tell him no bad news that he ain't want to hear. You know, honor him that way. And I want everyone to think about somebody who done passed on, that you know really loved you. Do one good deed on a regular basis that you know he gonna say, wow. All right. Any questions, comments? I make that do it for my past students every day. Rashida. Y'all remember Brother Bilal? How many of y'all remember Brother Bilal? My old student, he died, I would say, in the year 2003, maybe. He died of a disease. He was Lebanese. He was Arabic from Lebanon. Think about him all the time. Sister Elizabeth, she was a new Shahada, a new convert. She died of a brain tumor a few years ago. I'd say about 20 years ago. Y'all know Rashida. She was part of Karim Abuzaid's community. Rashida. I'll be pleased with her. Any questions, comments? Yeah, tomorrow what I'm going to do is go and we're going to cover chapter 4 of the book. About all this talking and hearing. We're going to get down to the nitty-gritty of that. And by the way, guys, if you enjoy learning Islam and its truthfulness, please support this dawah effort. We are desperately in need of donations because this is the first of the month now. As you guys know, this is the weekend. The first of the month will be Tuesday. We need money to help pay for all of our expenses that are coming out on the 1st. We have the website server, which is coming out on the 1st. That's $300. We're going to need a total of how much is it usually? $500 for the first week. That's how it is. 505. Yeah, $500 or more, for the first week. Please donate. Please donate to support this Dawah effort, guys, and think of all the blessings you guys are going to get for keeping this website going, all this knowledge and all this information. Whatever reward Allah is giving me here for putting it out, and for the brothers for writing these books, you guys are getting our reward, because we wouldn't be able to put it out here without your donations, because we are a nonprofit organization. We are an online Islamic school, and we wouldn't be able to stream any of this without your donations. And I want everybody to remember, anyone who donates $100 or more, send me an email. You can choose whatever topic you would like for our Ask Sister Laila live show. So send me an email with the topic of your choice and any questions you want me in particular to ask, and I will put it on the schedule for the Ask Sister Laila live show. Yeah, and it's on the ticker there. You can donate using Cash App, PayPal, or what's the other one? Zelle, please. Yeah. No questions, no comments. Okay. Oh, all right. Okay, guys. Yeah. Let me make sure. Let me make sure I didn't miss nothing, because the other day the sister said, "What if you planted a tree?" Okay, yeah, this is a good thing, Pamela. I'm glad I did look. This is a good thing too. If you planted a tree in that person's name, that's good, because this is ongoing charity, Sister Pamela. Yes, a tree. Yes, that's ongoing charity. That's a good thing. That's ongoing charity for a person. That's a good thing. Yes, that's ongoing charity. Yeah, that's ongoing charity. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good thing. No questions on Rumble? I see I got some people on Rumble too. If anybody on Rumble got any questions, I know they got a little lag. And by the way, please make sure that you guys on YouTube, that y'all subscribe to my channel and click that notification bell or whatever, so that you can be notified whenever we go live. And click on the tab that says shorts, because I take a lot of time putting those shorts. Y'all know I do everything myself. I make the shorts myself, and I think that's why my head is hurting so much, because I sit on this computer a lot, cutting and splicing up those shorts. That's probably why my head hurts so much. So please make sure you guys look at the shorts I put out, and share them on your social platforms. Try to circulate that on all your YouTube channels, your TikToks, whatever y'all use. So that way we can try to get our information, our website out that way. Yeah, share our shorts and stuff. Yeah, I put the classes, Dr. McBride's. Yeah, Dr. McBride's shorts out. That's some good information that he gave yesterday on the brain. How Abu Bakr, radiallahu anhu, utilized his right brain. Abu Bakr, radiallahu anhu, made the most of his right brain. I put those shorts out. Really good stuff. And I like his classes. I really like his classes. I really do. Y'all see I use a lot of his stuff. Yeah. Also, the information from Brother Muhammad Ziyada. Brother Muhammad Ziyada was talking about how to discipline your kids. That's some really good stuff too. And I put my the answers I gave for the Islam Q&A. I put my stuff out, not yesterday's, but last week's Islam Q&A. I got to do yesterday's. Yeah. Mm-hmm. No, yes. Okay, she's asking me about that walking. Okay, where does it come from? Okay, the sister here is saying that she's always heard that. She said ever since she was a kid, she heard that when the dead die, they get to walk around the earth for 3 to 4 days, saying goodbye to people. I'm gonna tell you that came from out of one of those Mishkat hadiths, and it's not authentic. There's a lot of hadiths that are fabricated. Fabricated means that they're made up. They're made up. They're lies. That's a fabricated hadith. It's not even weak. It's fabricated. That means it's just totally made up. Somebody just made it up. It's not even weak. So it's a fabricated. I heard that when I was a kid too, but it's not authentic. It's just fabricated, sister. Mishkat has a lot of fabricated hadiths. There's another book that has a lot of fabricated hadiths called El Hadith. You probably read it in El Hadith too. El Hadith is Alhadis. Fabricated. It's called El Hadith. Fabricated. So many fabricated hadiths, it's just ridiculous. You have to look at the source. There's a whole science to the hadith, just like there's a science to the Quran, the same type of procedure, really. And you have to look at the source of the hadith. Okay, and I'm telling you, a lot of Mishkat and El Hadith, oh my God, it's just pathetic. But those are fabricated. Yeah, I grew up with that stuff too. It's mystic Sufism. That's mysticism. A lot of that comes from Imam Ghazali. Like I said, Imam Ghazali, you know, some of his stuff was good and right on, but a lot of Imam Ghazali's stuff was not. You know, he was just a human being. That's why we don't blindly follow anyone. Some of that stuff comes from Imam Ghazali's writings. You know, that's why we don't blindly follow anyone. We take what's good, what's based on Quran, what's based on authentic evidence, and then the rest we leave alone. Yeah, but some of that comes from Imam Ghazali. Yeah. I grew up on that stuff too, sister. So I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, guys, I'm going to log out for tonight. You guys, inshallah, tomorrow we have Mukhtar's class on the Caliphate of Umar, radiallahu anha. You also have my class for the new Shahadas and the Sunnahfollowers youth at 6. And we have this class again, which will be chapter 4. Make sure you guys read chapter 4 of the book. Okay? All right. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Please support this dawah effort, guys. We need your donations because this is the first coming up, and we need the money to pay the website expenses. Assalamu alaikum. Have a good night, everyone.